All right, take a moment to think about one skill or capability that you are building, you're trying to build in your life right now, whatever it is. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's technical expertise, maybe it's something in your job or something on the home front. But I want you to think about that skill. And I'd love for you to think about where you're at inside of the 4 stages of competence with regards to that skill. Let me explain. Just had a follow-up virtual session with an executive leader working on communication skills and executive presence. Great communicator already in their own right. However, they have some targeted things that they want to work on around how they're showing up in front of different levels of audiences. And so we worked together last month on through an intensive session together. We spent most of the day together building some skills, building awareness, and refining what was already working for this leader. However, one of the things I said even before we committed to doing the work together was this: what is your plan for sustaining and maintaining your progress so that these skills become second nature to you? And this executive wasn't really sure what that looked like. Luckily for this leader, I knew what my philosophy is around communication and around coaching. And it's this, that when any of us are learning new skills, we move through these 4 stages of competence, and maybe you've heard of this before. First, we start unconsciously incompetent. We don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we're missing. We don't know what we're not doing well until we take a look at that through video recording or by working with a coach. Then the next step is that we become consciously incompetent. We know that we're not doing the skills that we want to be doing, or maybe not to the level of success or consistency that we're hoping to. Pausing could be an example, right? It's like, I don't know. I didn't know that I should have been pausing while I'm communicating. I didn't know the impact of pausing. Then when we move into conscious incompetence, it's like, instead of pausing, I'm using verbal fillers. Or I know that I'm letting my brain get ahead of my mouth, or my mouth get ahead of my brain, and it's not allowing me to communicate as effectively. I did not pause when I was speaking. So unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence to then, here's the swing, to then moving into conscious competence. I know that I'm working to do what I want to do, and I'm doing it with X percentage of success. Right? It's like we start to become aware of the fact that we are doing the skill or the thing or the behavior that we want to be doing. This part requires a lot of energy, and it requires a lot of brain power. And depending on the skill or capability you're building, it requires a lot of emotional investment too. One example I see in this regard is maybe a leader who knows that they want to exude more energy when they're communicating. But their personality isn't one that's highly energetic or gregarious or extroverted. And so it takes a lot of effort, and they know it's worth the effort, but they've got to work to become consciously competent that they're doing it. And then finally, it's unconscious competence. Unconscious competence. This is when it becomes second nature. And so I get this question all the time from leaders. If I keep working on this, how do I know that it's actually something that is going to get easier for me? And it's because of the 4 stages of competence model. It's been around for a long time. I know that if someone commits to creating repetition in their practice, it's going to eventually become something that they don't have to think twice about. And that's what's true for me as a communicator. There are things that I'm coaching leaders all the time that I don't have to think about when I go onto a stage for a keynote presentation. Not because I'm good at it. Could be part of it, but it's because I have committed to certain habits and behaviors and practicing those habits and behaviors consistently so they actually stick. So what are the areas in your life that you want to build new skills around? Have you stopped short of practicing, which has basically meant that you've stayed in the area of conscious incompetence? You have to keep at it. You have to commit to progress, or you have to commit to practice so you actually get to the progress. Let me know how you're doing. If you're stuck somewhere and you need some help, or you just want to put it out there and say, this is the thing I'm working on, I'd love to hear what that is. Rooting for you. Keep at it. You'll get there. I promise you.